Kart Toyota Atlantic Championship. Today, Valiente and 15 other aspiring open-wheel jockeys take to the streets of Southern California in the Toyota Grand Prix of Long Beach. It was here 1 year ago that number 19 proved his mettle to all, executing a pass that most thought impossible and the rest thought unbelievable. Now, in the shadow of the Queen Mary, a grand lady of the seas, the royalty of the Champ Car ladder system continue the 30th anniversary season of the world's most prestigious development series. Write it down. No event in motorsport has been more blessed by Mother Nature than the Toyota Grand Prix of Long Beach, site of round 2 of the Toyota Atlantic Championship for 2003. Hello, everyone. I'm Bob Varsha, along with Brian Till. Calvin Fish is in the pit lane, and after 2 days of dire weather forecasts, as you can see, we have clouds in the sky, but we also have bright sunshine and a light breeze blowing across Shoreline Drive as the field makes its way around its warm-up laps. On row 1, A.J. Allmendinger, his first career pole, start next to his teammate Aaron Justice.
Well, Aaron Justice has proved his ability as a race car driver before. He won the 2-liter Formula Ford Championship in the year 2000. This is his first full season in the Toyota Atlantic Championship. Brand new team and starting from the front row and only your second race. Got to be a lot of pressure, Aaron.
Not really. We got here, the car's just right, love the facility. Something about being here in California, I'm feeling pretty good.
On row 2, Scotsman Ryan Dial has had a great run of top finishes. He'll be starting alongside Mexican Luis Diaz, who was disappointed in the season opener.
Speed has never been an issue for Luis Diaz. It's been the starts. This year from the pole in Monterey, things didn't go his way. And last year here at Long Beach, well, they certainly didn't go his way either. So, Luis, as you race down towards turn 1 at the green flag, what are you going to be thinking?
Well, I guess this year I'm going to try the inside line. I'll be watching some videos from last year, and I hope no more crashes this year.
On row 3, 2 of the podium standers at the end of the season opener. Jonathan Macri finished second. Michael Valiente won the race. On row 4, Alex Biggie starts next to rookie Mark DeVellis. Moving to row 5, Stefan Waugh makes his seasonal debut, starting next to Danica Patrick, who was third in Monterey. On row 6, Alex Garcia will be next to Kyle Prizzoloff. On row 7, Eric Jensen and rookie Dan Selznick. And on row 8, Joey Hand, who was the pole sitter at this race last year, qualified 8th, but has gone to the back of the field with a chassis change. He'll start next to Philip Thayer. In the season opener at Monterey, Hand and his GSTP chassis were checking out when a mechanical problem relegated him to the pits before the race was over. And there has been more problems for him this weekend. With more on that, here's Calvin Fish.
Well, Bob, Joey Hand was certainly hoping to rebound from that disappointment in Monterey with a strong run here in Long Beach. He's the defending pole sitter here, having claimed that position last year, but it's been anything but smooth running for this DSTP crew. In Saturday morning's practice session, the car actually caught fire, an electrical problem, had the guys working frantically to get the car back on track, but the bigger problem has been the car has not been quick. Joey's about 1.3 seconds off the pole, and that's meant that they made a big decision last night. They've switched to the backup car. That means that his grid times are thrown out. They'll start from the back. Look for a charge from Joey Hand.
And this is a very difficult track to charge on. Take us around, Brian.
Well, Bob, every Atlantic driver wants to win here at Long Beach. Long Beach and Montreal are the places you want to win in one of these cars. Passing places, turn 1 and turn 9 at the end of the long back straightaway. But turn 1 is the issue. You got to get through it at the start, and it's always a problem.
You can see just how narrow it is. It is also very bumpy. We'll check our onboard cameras. One will be carried by Danica Patrick, who made history in the season opener as the first female driver to stand on a Toyota Atlantic podium. She'll be in the house car from Argent Mortgage, a sponsor of today's race. Also carrying an onboard camera, number 33, Luis Diaz, who will start P4 when we get underway. There are the 2 yellow cars of the Rousport teammates. Dial is in the red, number 28. And now they swing onto Shoreline Drive through the famous hairpin. We expect the green flag, and then keep your eye on turn 1.
There it is. J.B. Wilbur gives him the green, and this is where your heart almost stops. Down to turn 1. Danica, what a great start she's got. Hold on, guys. Here we go.
Look at the scramble up ahead. Here they come. The 2 Rousport teammates, Allmendinger and Justice.
Macri looks inside. Oh, so tight through there, but so far so good. On board with Diaz. Patrick gets him.
Oh, he may get shuffled out as they make their way around the fountain center for the first time.
Danica Patrick got a tremendous start. She's improved several positions. A.J. Allmendinger holds that position in the lead, and Aaron Justice, his teammate, slides in, but Danica Patrick was the winner on that start.
Now they'll swing through the left at turn 6 and onto Pine Avenue.
Through here, everybody just wants to get some temperature in their tires. It's a relatively cool day. The cars really aren't working that good right now, so you got to really be careful. But it is a hard racetrack to pass on, so anything you can get at the start is a benefit. Side by side, oh, a little brake lock up there from Kyle Krisiloff. Look at Allmendinger check out. You know, one of the things the guys have said about him all weekend long is on cold tires, he's willing and able to run hard from the beginning, and that's what we're seeing. He's been able to pull out a little bit on his teammate.
Calvin Fish.
Well, Danica Patrick made a storming start there, and they really struggled with the car all weekend, Bob. A lot of understeering the car. They're running very light on downforce. Bobby said, we think we've got a handle on it. We're hoping to make a strong impression here. But talk about the Roof Sport team. Some big sigh of relief down there. They got their two boys on the front. They're hoping they get through turn 1 cleanly, and they made it through.
That they did. Allmendinger, in just his second career Atlantic start from pole position, leads Aaron Justice. Then Jonathan Macri, Ryan Dial, Mark DeVellis made a huge jump going from 8th to 5th on the first lap. Danica Patrick is 6th. Then Michael Valiente, the defending champion, Luis Diaz, Alex Biggie, and Alex Garcia round out the top 10. We'll be right back to the beach. Coverage of the 30th anniversary season of the CART Toyota Atlantic Championship, the elite of the Champ Car development ladder, is being brought to you by Toyota. Get the feeling. To invite you to visit the Toyota Atlantic Championship website at www.toyotaatlantic.com. Welcome back to the streets of Long Beach. There is A.J. Allmendinger, last year's Barber Dodge Pro Series champion. And as you mentioned, Brian Till, the cars are beginning to come up to speed. Every lap, these guys have been going faster. Allmendinger's last lap, a 1:17.8. 2 full seconds and change faster than his first lap.
Oh, yeah, and almost 1 second faster, actually 1.1 seconds faster than the second place car of his teammate Aaron Justice. And we talked about the fact that A.J. Allmendinger is so good on cold tires. When you jump out there and you get that advantage over everybody else, that advantage then stays from lap after lap. You got to take it when you can get it. He's very good on cold tires. You get a good look there of Aaron Justice, followed by Macri and Ryan Dial. And those guys, Macri and Dial, have been fast throughout the second qualifying session and in this morning's warm-up. Aaron Justice seems to have lost a little bit there. I know that they wanted the car to get a little bit faster, but they may have taken the wrong tack, so they've gone back to a setup that they feel is a little bit better, but it cost them a little bit, and it looks like Macri and Dial, Macri blocks Dial down to the inside, and Aaron Justice is looking at his mirrors going, thank you guys, because look at the gap he's been able to pull out over Macri.
All of these cars using the same 4-cylinder Toyota engines, and all of them are on the same Yokohama Advent Racing slicks. Calvin Fish.
Well, one man who was sweating turn 1 more than the drivers today, Bob, was this man, Carl Russo, car owner of numbers 3 and 4. Carl, looked like the boys really behaved themselves down there.
It was a great start. They got off to a good start, but hats off to the whole field. I mean, the whole field got through cleanly. 30 years of racing at this facility. This is a historic event. We got a good, clean, historic start.
Well, congratulations. Great start for this team. 2 young Chargers. First time here at Long Beach. They lead the field, Bob.
Aaron Justice ran 3 Atlantic races last year as a teammate to Carl Russo. Now he is driving for the man. There's the battle. 2, 3 Macri, and 4 Ryan Dial as they head for the hairpin.
You can see the gap that Justice has been able to pull out on Macri a little bit. The more that Macri and Dial fight amongst each other, the more Aaron Justice is able to pull away. That battle has settled down a little bit between 3rd and 4th, and Macri's working his way back up to Aaron. Aaron's hoping that Ryan Dial charges a little bit harder.
Let's pick up the next car in line. There goes Michael Valiente, and here's Mark DeVellis. Now, I mentioned that DeVellis in that red car went from 8th to 5th at the start of the race, but officials ruled that he jumped Valiente at that start, and he was ordered to let the defending race champion back around. So they now run Allmendinger, Justice, Macri, Dial, Valiente, and DeVellis.
Yeah, well, when you get your foot in the throttle before the green flag comes out, it's easy to pick up positions. The nice thing is they gave him the opportunity to rectify it on the racetrack and not take care of it with a black flag or any type of a penalty. And certainly DeVellis was willing to give up one position on the racetrack instead of come in the pits and serve a stop-and-go penalty.
On board with Diaz. This is the right-hander onto Seaside Way, past the front of the convention center.
Right out to the wall. You see, using every bit of racetrack around here, you got to. He wants to stay close enough to get the draft on DeVellis in front of him, the long straightaway there, and if he can get into that slipstream of the car in front of him, it's going to help. If he can get close to him coming through the hairpin, he may be able to make a move down in turn 1. Look at Figge. Alex Figge has been fast through a lot of preseason testing, and there's Joey Hand. He's worked his way up to 10th place already, and he's got Danica Patrick in his sights in front of him. But don't forget, Joey Hand is still not happy with his car, basically starting all over again this morning by going to the backup car.
Whoa, we have a spinner down in 1. Is that DeVellis?
Oh, contact. Oh. That's going to be DeVellis and Diaz. You can see damage to Diaz's right front tire there. That car is not in alignment anymore. It's damaged. He shouldn't be able to continue. I think DeVellis has the same problem.
Now, keep in mind, Diaz had all those problems in the series opener in Monterey.
Macri inside Dial. Dial spins. Sitting there in the middle of the racetrack. One car gets through. He starts to move. DeVellis comes through.
That was actually Valiente who got through, I believe. He'll be to the right of your screen.
Macri's through. Dial rolling slightly.
There goes.
Valiente gets through.
Oh.
Right tough call. Corner. Yeah, DeVellis goes for what he thinks is the gap. Dial obviously wants to get out of the way, but Diaz may not have damage. It could just be these cars have Ackerman steering, which means as you turn the wheel, one wheel turns more than the other, and it could just be the steering on that. He may not have damage. Looks like he's gotten back underway. Yeah. He may be okay.
He's cleared the scene. You can see it in his hands from the onboard camera. As soon as he saw Ryan Dial sitting stationary on the racing line, he has tried to avoid the wreck. As you just saw, he is back underway. We'll take a break while we're under a full course caution in Long Beach. Back live on the streets of Long Beach, Mark DeVellis climbs into the safety vehicle after a tough break. A collision down in turn 1 after Ryan Dial spun, and he was hit. Was DeVellis by Luis Diaz, who was following. We'll take a closer look at what happened, and DeVellis may not be the only casualty. First, here's another look, Brian.
You see Macri and Dial side by side. Dial spins, sitting there dead in the water. He obviously wants to get out of the way. He gets the car back underway. Oh, there's the contact. Yep. That's what got Dial's right rear and obviously DeVellis's right front. Obviously, Dial wants to get out of the way. I mean, he's a sitting duck in the middle, but DeVellis comes in, commits to going around the outside just about the time that Ryan starts to move. You saw DeVellis lock up that left front brake, and when you do, you don't have any steering. Here's an onboard from Diaz. Luis very lucky. We thought he had damage to that right front tire because you see that wheel turned in a lot, but that's just the Ackerman steering there. And
here's the continuing story with Calvin.
Well, Ryan Dial has made his way back to the pit lane. Ryan, car is broken, so you're out of the race. What happened down there with you and Jonathan?
Between me and Jonathan, wasn't really much happened. We both kind of got together, and I ended up spinning round. The damage to the car came after that. Somebody came into the side of me, outbroke themselves, and ended up hitting me, kind of stranded. So a shame because we had a good car in the race, and it's a shame it should have ended this way.
Well, a tough break for the young Scotsman. He certainly has been on a roll here. He's had 3 top 4 finishes stemming off the end of last year, Bob. And change of engineer here this weekend. Carl Brand has moved over to his car, and he was just pipped for the pole by A.J. Allmendinger. He certainly thought he'd have a strong race car today.
We expect the green this time by, and we'll be back underway. No sign of the cars at the head of the Shoreline Drive straightaway yet. Boy, it didn't take much of contact there to ruin Ryan Dial's day. His 4th in the season opener in Monterey was his 3rd straight top 4 finish going back to last season, but that streak is now broken. Here you see the field making its way around. This is turn 9. On board with this is Danica Patrick's car. Luis Diaz is still out there despite that contact. He has not pitted, and we are back under green.
And look at the gap that Allmendinger had coming off the hairpin. We talked about being good on cold tires. He snookered the entire field at the hairpin and got about 6 or 8 car lengths over his teammate Aaron Justice. And once again, as good as he is on cold tires, that is a huge benefit out the back of Danica Patrick's car. You see Joey Hand
now up to 7th.
Joey Hand knows how to play this game. It is a season-long deal. There have been 5 years since 1990 that the guy who's won the fewest races wins this championship. It's about consistency. Joey Hand knows he needs to get points. He'll be patient. He'll move his way up. If he can win this thing, he will. If he finishes 5th, he finishes 5th. But he'll take the points. He's smart. He knows it's the collection at the end that wins the championship.
You're not going to make them all up in one race. As you look back from the car of Danica Patrick.
Diaz on his way back up. You saw him trying to gain position that he had lost there in that incident.
Turn 9 off Seaside Way.
Taking a look at Danica through there. She's had problems all weekend long with his car, as Calvin had alluded to earlier. And one of the things I noticed in watching the in-car footage from Saturday morning's practice was that they struggled. She was on the radio literally the entire lap around, talking to the crew. She made bar changes. She made brake bias changes, trying to get that car to work, and they've struggled with it. It's not been to her liking, so she's got to hold on to it now and just race it the best that she can.
Well, look at those gaps already. Allmendinger has lit the afterburner once again. Diaz picking up another spot, going around Alex Garcia.
Luis Diaz is another one of these guys that wants this race over with. Long Beach has not been good to him. At the beginning of last year, at the start of the race, he had a car basically sitting on his head at turn 1 at the start of the race. So he wants to collect points and get out of here onto a happier place. Monterey was not good to him last year, nor was Long Beach. He won 2 races, but let's get these first 2 out of the way, is what Luis has said.
Patrick and Hand continue their battle to Calvin Fish.
Well, down here with the DSTP crew, Kent, you made a big move last night moving to the backup car. Perfect scenario of quarter caution. Do you have a fast enough race car, though?
I don't think we have a fast enough race car to win this thing. You know, we're just going to try to collect some points here. We're a bit behind on time, you know, just starting this car this morning. The car's better, but we're still struggling a little bit. He's just trying to move the bars around and get the car good and see if he can just move forward.
Mate, good luck. I think you could see there that Joey is on the radio too, Kent, during that interview, trying to work on the setup, trying to get a bit better with what he has available inside the cockpit.
Completing lap number 11 of 32 scheduled. We're also subject to a 50-minute time limit, so we don't want too many full-course cautions.
The other person that doesn't want too many full-course cautions is A.J. Allmendinger. He is trying to check out away from his teammate.
He's already back in the 1-minute 17-second zone. He was the only guy to go that fast before the yellow came out.
Absolutely. You've got Justice Macri and Valiente, even Figgy, that are running pretty much the same times, but A.J. Allmendinger has been able to knock off some lap times that are well over half a second faster than the guys in 2nd, 3rd, and 4th. He is putting down the laps here, and he wants to see this thing stay caution-free.
And a 10th slower than Patrick, with whom you ride last time by. So look at how those wings are laid flat.
Yeah, they've gone for very little downforce. You know, the turns here at Long Beach are not that fast, and so you trim the car out, you take wing out of it to try to reduce drag so the car gets down the straightaway quickly, and you've got to have that straight line speed.
A.J. Allmendinger collided with Luis Diaz in the season opener at Monterey. He'd like to make amends for it today, and he leads. Welcome back live to the streets of Long Beach, California at round 2 of the Toyota Atlantic Championship for 2003, the Toyota Grand Prix of Long Beach. I'm Bob Varsha with Brian Till and Calvin Fish. There is your leader, A.J. Allmendinger, whose gap over teammate Aaron Justice is out to nearly 2.5 seconds to Calvin Fish.
Well, he's got a new man on his headset this weekend. Is Burke Harrison, formerly with Danica Racing. Burke, great restart for A.J. You talk about a guy's ability on cold tires. A.J. seems to have it.
Yeah, he has enormous raw talent, which I'm learning quickly here. And our job here at Roo Sports is just to give him a tool so it's easier for him. I mean, you know, so far so good. It's not over yet, but you know, hopefully it'll end like this.
Burke is a very calming influence for this young charger on the radio headset, and he's had success here before, winning in Indy Lights with Paul Tracy and Eric Bechelat, Bob.
And another guy who's had success is the man he was talking about, A.J. Allmendinger, who is the epitome of what the ladder system in kart is all about. He's a 2-time karting Grand National champion, the 01 Barber National runner-up to Julio Campos. Then he won the Barber Dodge Pro Series championship, and here he is leading the way in the Toyota Atlantic Championship. There's his teammate Aaron Justice, another guy with a long history of karting championships, go-karts that is, leading to the higher classes.
And Aaron certainly knows how to win races, but look at the front wing on that car on the left side from Aaron's point of view, the right side from our point of view, looking at the car right there. That second element is a little askew, it looks like, and I don't know how it got there.
But look at Macri there, closing up in third.
But aerodynamics on these cars are so important. In addition to adding downforce, they add drag, and they also affect the airflow through the tunnels on these cars.
See Joey Hand going out of your picture. The next battle is Law and Diaz. As Diaz continues to move up wheel to wheel at 9.
Side by side, I think that's Alex Figge in front of him as they come through the horseshoe and get ready to come onto the hairpin. Through the hairpin, Figge gets wide. Diaz should have the shot down. No, you're right, it was wide. They got that silver and black car side by side down the straightaway. Now, who's got the horsepower? Who has less drag? Who had the better shot off the hairpin? It looks like Diaz, but Waugh will get the draft on him.
Pretty evenly matched.
Diaz is going to protect his line. He's going to stay in the middle of the racetrack, down into turn 1.
Oh, I thought maybe Waugh overcooked it.
And off he goes, working hard to gain those positions back.
As Diaz's crew, boy, they've had some ups and downs already today.
Look at the nose, rubber on the nose of his car from that impact that he had with DeVellis down there in turn 1. Once again, Luis Diaz is saying, what do I have to do to get out of Long Beach? We heard him in the open say, no more crashes. One more time.
Not much in the way of downforce on that car either. Look at, I wonder if he knocked down those plates on his front wing, those upper elements that were awfully flat. Calvin Fish.
We're down here with Danica Racing. Alain Clarenval is the engineer on Luis Diaz. Turn 1 hasn't been kind to this young man this year, but how's the race car? Did it get damaged, get beat up at all?
No, the car is all fine. I think we're going to do a good race if we don't have any more problems.
They're pretty confident. They think they've got a strong race car, but he's got a battle on his hands out there, Bob.
That he does.
If we don't have any more problems. Long Beach, as we were saying for Luis, has not been nice to him. He's got clear racetrack in front of him. What he's going to try to do now is he's got to hunt down Joey Hand. And once again, Luis Diaz, he's an experienced competitor. They know Joey Hand has a problem and not a good race car. They're going to put his nose down, put it to the grindstone, and see if he can reel in Joey Hand in front of him.
That man we were just listening to, engineer Alain Clarenval, is back with the Doricat team for the first time since they won the former Indy Lights Championship with Oriol Servia back in '99. We'll be back. Coverage of the 30th anniversary season of the CART Toyota Atlantic Championship is being brought to you by Yokohama Tires. Back live in Long Beach, California, Bob Varsha, Brian Till, along with Calvin Fish. Excuse me, glad to have you with us as you look at our third place runner, Jonathan Macri in the NTN car, who is running 4.2 seconds behind race leader A.J. Allmendinger. Allmendinger, for his part, has opened a 3.3 second gap on the second place car. You just saw it go out of your screen, the yellow number 3 of Aaron Justice.
And there's the leader through 4th place right there. Justice doing a good job, but Macri was in a good position to hunt down Valiente at Monterey. He's been in this position of the hunter, and it's okay right now. Even though he's young, he's very mature. He's got 14 laps to go. He's going to keep hunting to see if he can't reel in Aaron Justice.
We are just past halfway, which means that A.J. Allmendinger has locked up the bonus point for leading the most laps in the race. As you take a look at Michael Valiente, who's had a pretty quiet race thus far, except for avoiding the spinning Ryan Dial in the incident that brought out our only yellow flag of the day. Calvin Fish.
We're down here at Lynx Racing. Steve Cameron up on the timing stand. Steve, seemed like you're gone for the car being really trimmed out again this weekend. Is it going to hurt Michael in the latter stages of the race?
Maybe not so much here. You know, the track seems to be building an awful lot of grip. So, you know, at Mexico, we did get a little bit of tire wear, but right now his times are staying stable. You know, Figge's not catching him, so we just got to hang in there and see what happens at the end.
Right, they're still hoping for a podium out here, guys. They're hoping that Michael's experience will get him to the front of the pack by the end of the race.
Steve Cameron is a tremendously experienced, not only crew chief and team manager, but also a race car driver.
Oh, Danica Patrick. That's in the turn 1 area, I believe.
Look from the onboard. Yeah, you can see damage down here in the suspension. It's actually bent right there.
There's Bobby Rahal looking at the same pictures you were just watching. He raced Atlantics back in the days of K.K. Rosberg and Gilles Villeneuve and Danny Sullivan. Right now, his thoughts are with his driver, Danica Patrick, who has nosed it in hard. Here's another look. Oh.
I just got a little wide at turn 1 there. Probably carried a little too much speed. Couldn't get the car to the apex. You saw her lose the rear end. Right rear contacts the tire wall first, and then it slaps the car around in. Yeah, just a little hot in there. Right rear, slaps the car in.
Oh,
right
Diaz barely gets
God.
by.
Luis Diaz is going, can we just avoid turn 1 altogether here at Long Beach? It's not a good place.
Watch her
hands.
Gets
in there, in car, gets loose. She tries to correct it. Here comes the contact, right rear, boom. Good job of letting go of the steering wheel. You saw her right at impact. She let go of the steering wheel, and that's important. She's out of the car. It's important to let go of that wheel. It spins in your hand on contact. You can break your thumbs and your wrist.
Simple Green Kart safety crew goes back to work once again. They've had a lot of experience with turn 1 here at Long Beach. There's the beautiful Queen Mary across the harbor. We'll be back in just a moment. Welcome back to Long Beach. Moments ago, this was Danica Patrick having a word with the safety crew. There was someplace she wanted to go, a different place they wanted her to go. And with the help of a few pointed words from the chief steward, Danica was reminded that after a crash, you have to take a bit of a ride. Here's another look at what happened.
Just once again, a little too much speed, a little loose at turn in there. She catches the right rear. Those tires grab that right rear, spin it around. Another look at it. Joey Hand sneaks by, just sneaks by, and oh, man.
Luis Diaz almost got a piece of that
Luis
wreck.
Does not like Long Beach.
Here's the view from Diaz's car. Watch his reactions.
Now, see, we actually see that from Luis's car. He does not because his eyes are closed. He's going, not again. Here's Danica's view. The car gets a little loose right before the apex. Boom, into the wall. She does a good job keeping her foot on the brake so the car doesn't roll back into traffic.
Second full course caution of the day, Calvin Fish.
Well, Bobby Rahal just watched the replays. Bobby, bit of a struggle this weekend, but a storming start got her up in the top 6. What happened down in turn 1, do you think?
We have been struggling with understeer all weekend, and I think she just went quicker than we qualified, but I think she just got in there a little wide and just got out in the junk, and it just slid and got caught up in the tires. So it's unfortunate.
A lot of pressure there from Joey behind as well down there.
Well, she had a little bit of space. She must have had a mistake on a lap or two earlier because she was a second or so clear of them, and then they came by pretty close together. But as I say, I think it's been a struggle with getting the car to get into the corners. So she was doing her best.
All right, mate. They'll come back strong, I'm sure.
And there's the view from the onboard as the car is now on the hook. We will have 10 laps remaining. We expect the green this time by.
It is now time. All that patience that you've held up inside of yourself, the Jonathan Macri's, the Michael Valientes, the Figgies, the Diaz, the Hands. It's time to release that patience and go. You know AJ Allmendinger is going to be on it. And it's time to make the move. You got 10 laps to get to the front. It's time to go racing. There's the green.
Back underway, 10 laps to go around the streets of Long Beach. And once again, AJ Allmendinger is absolutely shot out of a cannon at the green.
Well, you always control the pace as the leader coming back for a restart, but he has done such a tremendous job. And once again, on cold tires, he is just spectacular.
Ooh, coming up the outside. Car number 13, that is Kyle Krizeloff, who has frankly had a rough go of it in the Atlantic Series. He has a good team behind him, and now he really looks like he's coming to grips with the car, the engine, the traction, and so forth.
On board with Diaz, Krizeloff, he is a kid. I mean, he is a very, very young driver, just a teenager, and he's got a lot to learn, and I think he's doing a good job taking his time and learning what he needs to. And look at Diaz on a charge. Just before this full course caution came out, he was the fastest car on the racetrack. He enjoyed seeing that yellow flag, even though he didn't want to get caught up in the incident. He enjoyed seeing it because it's brought the field back to him, and I'm going to bet before long Joey Hand is going to go past him.
Look at the nose on Diaz's car. Still some damage. Looks like he's got some kind of hood ornament there, or battle damage.
Look at that carbon fiber sticking out all over. It's been peeled back. That's from that impact with the gearbox.
I think he's got a souvenir on the front there.
Yeah, he may have part of DeVellis's car.
Here's how it happened. Bang.
He may actually have part of the supports for DeVellis's rear wing on the front, stuck in the front end of his car. Look at the lead Allmendinger's pulled out. Justice has been able to pull out a little bit. Diaz all over the back of Hand, one tough customer, but once again, I mean, he's doing a tremendous job in a car that he has not sat in until this morning, but I got to believe in watching Luis so far today, he's got the car over Joey. He just needs to get close enough to make the move down one of these long straightaways.
This is my favorite section of the racetrack. From Shoreline Drive back around to Pine Avenue, turns 1 through 5.
And there's the move up the inside into turn 5. He gets it done. Joey gives him a little bit of a hard time, says, I'm not going to hand it to you, but he's a gentleman. They race side by side into that corner, and Luis, he just has the better car today.
Not going to hand it to you, I get it.
Yep. Play on word there.
Immediately, Diaz pulls away from Hand. We'll have 8 laps to go next time by.
Now, Joey Hand is kind of fallen into the clutches of Stefan Roy. You know, for Hand, this yellow brought people to him, and he didn't want to see that. Once again, driving a car that he's not comfortable in. It has not worked for them today, but it's all about collecting points. If he wants to win this championship, he needs to do the right thing and make sure this car finishes.
Gap 1.39 seconds from Allmendinger in first to Justice in second as you watch this battle for 7th. Hand and Roy.
Stefan was not able to do anything down that long straightaway. You would think that he might have gotten the draft, but he wasn't close enough to do it. And Joey Hand escapes losing a position here.
This is the 20th appearance for the Toyota Atlantic Championship here in Long Beach. 6 times the race has been won from pole. That's what A.J. Allmendinger is trying to do. We'll give you the others when we return. Welcome back to Long Beach. There's Carl Russo, owner of the brand new Toyota Atlantic Sport team. They swept P1 and 2 in qualifying for today's 20th annual Toyota Atlantic Championship race here in Long Beach. Right now they are running 1-2. There is A.J. Allmendinger. In the previous 19 runnings of this race, it's been won from pole 6 times. Tom Gloy back in 1980, Jeff Brabham a year later, Mark Dismore in 1990. A year after him, Jimmy Vasser did it en route to the Champ Cars. In 1996, Case Montgomery won from pole, and in 2001, Canadian David Rutledge did it. Today, it could be A.J. Allmendinger. He'll have 5 laps to go when he gets back around to start-finish.
See Aaron Justice there, his teammate, and once again, you look at that front wing and you see what we call the second element, or the flap. Right there, the left front wing is very well, it's way up, much higher than it is on the right side wing. And when you look at his teammate, A.J. Allmendinger, his wings are perfectly flat across the front. That shouldn't be that way. The strange thing is, it's up. You would think if it had come loose, it would have been pushed down by the air, but it's up.
Quick update on that, Brian, is the fact that Aaron was actually totally unaware that he had damage to the front wing. The team were observing our monitors and saw that the wings had damaged. They said, how's the car? He said, well, it's not perfect. He said, well, you may want to adjust it. You've damaged the front wing. So no one has really been in front of him other than AJ, so it may have been a tire that he clipped or maybe some debris caused that damage. But they've worked on the roll bar settings and got it a lot better for Aaron. He said his fastest lap actually just before that caution period.
You know what it looks like might have happened? The left side mounting appears to have broken, or perhaps a bolt fell out or something. You see, it's basically tucked behind the lower element.
Yeah, we just got a better shot of it, and you're exactly right, Bob. It looks like that outside mounting has come loose and it's fallen back. That air is pushed down on the inside portion of it right there, causing it to raise up in the back, and that's going to give him asymmetrical downforce on the front, which is going to make the car handle differently in right and left-hand corners. And it's like we heard him say, he didn't know why the car wasn't doing what he wanted it to do, but it had definitely gone away. He's doing a good job of handling too, because these cars are very, very sensitive to aerodynamics. We talked about the drag that these wings create. To have something sticking up in the airstream like that is not what you want down these long, long straightaways here at Long Beach.
A former 5-time U.S. National Karting Champion and the 2000 U.S. Formula Ford titleist, Aaron Justice, getting his moment of the sun here at the elite level of the kart development ladder. We'll be back to Long Beach, California in just a moment. Back at Long Beach, take a look at this videotape we've been able to gather of the problem Aaron Justice is having with his left front wing. Brian Till.
You see that second element, that flap, it's askew. As it comes into view right here, you can see a mounting on the left side of that second element. It's where it should be. But as he comes up a little bit further, you can begin to see mounting holes over here on the far outside portion of the wing, right there where the bolt is missing, and that's what's come askew and caused that second element to get unadjusted. We'll say it's way raised up in the air. It's causing asymmetrical downforce in that car. The guy doing the best job out there right now may be Aaron Justice.
A.J. Allmendinger, 1:17.0 last time by. He has consistently been the fast man on the racetrack. A 17.2 for Aaron Justice last lap. So he is doing a great job of dealing with that flapping element in his left front wing.
And for the people at home who say, well, how did he not know that that was damaged? He can't see that from the cockpit. He can't see the front wings at all. He's so far down in that car. So all he knew was that the car wasn't handling quite the way that he wanted to. And when the crew said, you've got an aerodynamic problem, see if you can balance it with the sway bars that are adjustable from inside the cockpit, he's been able to bring that car back to him a little bit.
The crew should have seen the same pictures you just did, and they know exactly what Aaron Justice's problem is right now. We'll see the signs for sponsoring Argent Mortgage Company, based in nearby Orange, California. Their house car, driven by Danica Patrick, is out of the race. One of 2 full-course cautions we've had on the day. Alex Figge and Luis Diaz on board.
Doing a great job through the horseshoe and into the hairpin to be back up to 6th place.
We expect the white flag this time by for the race leader, and there it is. A.J. Allmendinger, hoping to become the first Toyota Atlantic Championship contender to win by leading every lap from pole since Michael Valiente, currently in 4th place, did it last August on the streets of Trois-Rivières in Quebec, Canada.
He is pressing hard to see if he can't get Figge in front of him. Allmendinger all the while feeling every bump, hearing every noise, every rattle on this last lap, saying, I want to see my first checkered flag in the Toyota Atlantic Series. Back on board with Diaz. He definitely and desperately wants to get Figge. He wants points for his championship run. He's got a fast car. We've seen him all race along. He had the fastest lap until just after this last caution flag, when Allmendinger took it back away from him. I just don't think he's going to be close enough coming on the long back straightaway to get the draft. There's the lead that Allmendinger has.
Allmendinger ran into the back of Diaz at the start of our race. Owner Carl Russo looking on. That was in Monterrey, Mexico in the season opener a few weeks ago. Allmendinger came back to finish 8th in that race and had to give up a position late in the race due to the incapacitated nature of his race car. But no problems today for young A.J. Allmendinger, who picks up his first career Toyota Atlantic Championship victory in his 2nd start. And for Carl Russo, a 1-2 finish in the 2nd appearance for his brand new team.
And the guy that's done such a good job, not only those 2 drivers in the yellow cars right there, but Carl Russo with building this Rusport team.
And he is less than a year out of the race car himself. Calvin Fish.
Well, the team are going nuts here. President of Rusport, Jeremy Dale. Carl, what a moment. 1-2 finish. How about that, buddy?
All credit to Jeremy and the team. I mean, a fantastic team effort. But what a job by these 2 guys.
Great job by AJ. But Jeremy, talk about the balance change on Aaron's car. He put in a great performance with the front wing hurting a little bit.
He did an exceptional job, and I'm so proud of Aaron and AJ and every single guy on this team. They have done just such a brilliant job, and to in our 2nd race come here and take the front row, finish 1-2. It says a lot about Carl's vision for this team and the hard work of all these guys. Just incredible.
Awesome job, guys. Well done.
Great job. And you see the 2 teammates making their way around a victory lap. It's the first 1-2 finish for a team since Doricott Racing. Our defending team champions did it last year at Road America in Elkhart Lake, Wisconsin. Luis Diaz, ironically, leading eventual series champion John Fogerty to the line. What a day for Carl Russo, for Jeremy Dale, and the entire Rusport team.
Well, Carl Russo is a businessman. He loves to race, but he is a businessman. And we had a great conversation the other day. And the whole point of this team is that it is a business. It's not to be done for sport. It's to be done as a business. He's built it as a business. He's put the best employees in the best positions. And what you see translates onto the racetrack, and you see those 2 yellow cars. I don't think this is the last time we're going to see him, Bob, side by side in a finish, because he has built a very, very formidable team there. And know, the other guys, they saw this new team come in and probably thought, well, we've got some time to get ahead of these guys. They may catch on slowly, but they've caught on very quickly.
Based in the racing mecca of Loveland, Colorado, high in the Rocky Mountains outside of Denver. A great day for the Rousport team. We'll be back in a moment to hear from the top finishers in today's race. Stay with us. Coverage of the 30th anniversary season of the CART Toyota Atlantic Championship, the elite of the Champ Car Development Ladder, is being brought to you by Toyota. Get the feeling. Welcome back to Long Beach, California. Not a bad day for A.J. Allmendinger. A track record lap to take pole position, and then he leads every lap of this 20th visit by the Toyota Atlantic Championship to Long Beach, California. Let's hear from him now with Calvin Fish.
Well, if there's a poster boy for the CART ladder system as this man, Barber Dodge Pro Series champion AJ, in your second race, you win a Toyota Atlantic run. How about it?
Oh my God, that was awesome, especially here in Long Beach, the Prestige, all the famous drivers that have won here. I just can't thank my crew enough. They worked so hard over the winter. Carl Russo giving me this opportunity to be with this great team. This is just amazing. I can't believe it. 1-2, second race, awesome.
Great job today, buddy. Well done.
Thank you.
Congratulations indeed to A.J. Allmendinger. First victory in his second career Toyota Atlantic Championship start. Finishing second, of course, his teammate Aaron Justin. And in third place, Jonathan Macri. Here's a look at the final results. Michael Valiente, the defending race champion, comes home in fourth, followed by the great battle for fifth between Alex Figge and Luis Diaz. Joey Hand battled problems all day long to finish in seventh place, followed by Waugh, Krisaloff, and Garcia. There's Eric Jensen in 11th. Good run for him. Ed Selznick finishes in 12th, and Philip Fayer, Danica Patrick knocked out of the race. The tire wall at turn 1. Ryan Dial and Mark DeVellis as well. Let's hear from our second place finisher with Calvin.
Well, it's a Rousport 1-2, and Aaron Justice, a great run from the front row. Front wing problem you weren't even aware of initially.
Didn't know it. I mean, I knew that there was a handling issue. You know, there was a loss of front grip, but not until one of the cautions they rated to me let me know that there was a problem. And from then it was just kind of, extracting what I could out of it.
Talk about turn 1. I know the boys on the team were concerned about what you two young chargers would do going down there at the start.
I was concerned as well. We were up all night talking about it, and it, really played out just perfect. You never know what's going to happen in that first corner, but, the positioning was right. Everybody's cool. I give it up for the guys behind us. Boy, they were really smart. I appreciate it.
Great job today, and as Brian alluded to, it's probably not the first time we're going to see a Rousport 1-2 in the Toyota Atlantic Championship in the year 2003.
No question about it, Calvin. They had a problematic season opener, but boy, have they put their stamp on the championship here in the second round of 2003. Here's a look at the BG Products Rookie of the Year standings. Danica Patrick came in as the leader, but she surrenders that position now to A.J. Allmendinger and falls all the way to fourth in the battle for top rookie of 2003. Now let's get back down to victory lane and Calvin.
Well, another great run by Jonathan Macri here. New team, second podium finish in 2 races, Jonathan.
Yeah, it was a great race. The team gave me a great car. We started from the 5th, so, this Cummins Street course is really tough to pass. We're just thrilled with another podium finish, and we'll go on to Milwaukee.
Never quite got close enough to Aaron to really force a mistake and put the pressure on.
Yeah, we got close a bit, and then you take the wing away from us, and the car would just start understeering. And, they just ran a real consistent. If anything, I was hoping for him to make a mistake and for me to be able to slip by. But, they ran a flawless race, and we just had to stick behind them.
Great job today. Another great run for the NTN racing team.
That's right. As Brian Till mentioned earlier, consistency does it in this championship, and Jonathan Macri has been very consistent. There is Joey Hand after such a fraught weekend. A fire in the pit lane in practice. He had to jump into his backup car that he had not set up, battled it all day long, and came home with some valuable points in 7th place. Michael Valiente, by winning the season opener, took the early series lead, and he still holds it, but by just 3 over a tie between today's winner, A.J. Allmendinger, and Jonathan Macri. We have a long way to go. 10 races still to come in the 2003 season. Final thought, Brian Till?
Frustration on the part of Macri. He said they ran a great race, but he was the most frustrated driver out there. Joey Hand, he'll be clawing his way back frustration too.
For Brian Till and Calvin Fish, I'm Bob Varsha. Thanks for joining us today. Round 3 of the 2003 CART Toyota Atlantic Championship comes your way from one of the most historic oval tracks in the nation, the Milwaukee Mile. Join us at 9 p.m. Sunday, June 1st for round 3 of the 30th anniversary season of the Toyota Atlantic Championships. Until then, so long from Long Beach, California.